Now on News 13, your local leader.
It's been a deadly 2 days along area beaches with 2 drownings, and at this hour, a teenager rushed to the hospital after sand collapsed on him at St. Andrews State Park. We'll have the latest.
Plus, fishermen are catching a break after losing some days to Tropical Storm Colin. You'll find out about some extra fishing days.
And the debate over Florida's open carry law continues.
To show that there is some real harm that's being addressed by this ban.
The latest on the controversy from the Supreme Court.
Live from the WMBB studios in historic downtown Panama City, this is News 13 Live at 5.
Good evening. Thanks for having us in for news tonight. I'm Amy Hoyt.
And I'm Jerry Brown. We begin today with breaking news. Multiple agencies responding to St. Andrews State Park within the past hour. Now, reports are that a hole dug in the sand has collapsed on a victim in the jetties area of the St. Andrews State Park. According to authorities, the victim is a teenager, is actually the one that dug the hole in the sand. He's been pulled from that sand and taken to a hospital. News 13's Tiffany Jackson joins us live on the scene right now to bring us more information. Tiffany?
Hey Jerry, I'm here, like you said, in St. Andrews State Park. I'm going to step out of the way here so you can see officials are digging more into that sand. There was one teenager that was found in the sand. As you can see, there's a big wall of sand right here. He dug into the sand, not necessarily down, but across into the sand to make a tunnel. Then the tunnel collapsed on top of him. As you can see, the people are digging right now. They've got Panama City Fire Rescue out there digging bigger holes because they are not sure yet. There could possibly be another person in the sand. They've got boarded up. They've got it boarded up right now so no more sand falls in. They're trying to bring in more lumber and more equipment to dig a bigger hole and make it sturdy so that they can keep looking in that hole for another person potentially. That's not confirmed. They are still looking. Now, the teen was rushed to the hospital, and we do not know the condition of him at this point. And like I said, authorities aren't even sure if there's another person in that hole, but we will continue to keep you updated on our website, on our Twitter, and our Facebook, and throughout the show. Back to you guys.
Tiffany Jackson, thank you for your report.
A search continues in Walton County for a missing swimmer. He was part of a group of 4 friends who went swimming in the Gulf yesterday evening. 2 were rescued, 1 died, and the last person still unaccounted for. News 13's Maggie Solomon tells us tonight the danger is still there, even in broad daylight. Maggie, deputies saved several more people in the water around noon today.
It's been a busy day for law enforcement, Amy, and until the 4th swimmer is located, they'll continue to be vigilant.
The sun may be shining in Miramar Beach, but there's a dark cloud ominously lingering overhead.
It is a recovery search at this point.
35-year-old Leonard Adams of Texas still missing. His friend already claimed by the current. Doctors pronounced 36-year-old Rashid Moses dead at the hospital Tuesday. 2 others were rescued safely.
We're continuing to get water calls and we're searching for somebody who went missing.
I was freaking out because we had heard about the drownings yesterday.
Amanda Sanders watched her own husband nearly drown Wednesday. He and 3 others had to be pulled from the water.
I was just watching the wave just crash and push them under over and over, and I could see the water just hitting their faces, and they just looked exhausted.
While they were rescued, sometimes it can be too late.
And the Gulf is a completely different body of water than that. It can be very unforgiving.
Despite it, the search continues.
Sheriff's officials say they'll continue to look for any sign of Adams and are asking visitors and locals to keep themselves safe.
Maggie, what are some of their suggestions?
Well, Amy, Walton County has lifeguards posted at different points on the beach, all up and down the beach. Swimming near a station will increase your safety immensely.
Everything we all need to remember. Good advice. Thanks, Maggie.
Every year, people make their way to the Panhandle to enjoy the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately, not everyone realizes the power of the water. Today, Bay County Sheriff's deputies are working to change that. We have News 13, well, as you see right here on the beach, water safety out here. Single red flag at the moment, so the Sheriff's Office recommends only strong swimmers should be in the water. Bay County and Panama City Beach use a flag warning system to alert swimmers when the waters have become too dangerous. A red flag means conditions are unsafe and is recommended for only strong swimmers. A double red flag means the water is closed to the public. It's considered a misdemeanor to be in the water during that time of double red flags, and you could be taken to jail. The Sheriff's Office is asking anyone that's coming to the beach to respect the flags for their own safety. If you do find yourself in a dangerous situation, They say to remain calm.
If you cannot panic and not try to swim directly against it because you're going to just exhaust yourself, try to swim out of it, lateral to the beach, and then try to make your way back in as you break free from the rip. You know, and it's like I said, it may be easier said than done.
And just yesterday, the Bay County Sheriff's Office reported a woman near Shell Island had drowned. She was on a float alone and drifted into deep water. She was later found floating face down in the water. People want to help in an emergency. Authorities say the best thing to do if you see someone drowning is to first call 911. Do not go out in the water by yourself.
Well, some trailblazing technology is coming out of the Naval Surface Warfare Center Panama City Division. Engineers are calling it the first of its kind. News 13's Larissa Scott live in our studios tonight with that story. Larissa?
Amy, this cutting-edge technology is a see-through heads-up display that is placed directly inside of a diving helmet. Divers typically have to work in murky waters with mostly zero visibility. The new Divers Augmented Vision Display System allows divers to have a real-time display of everything from sonar, diagrams, pictures, text messages, and even videos. The divers are able to better communicate with those above for better accuracy and awareness right in front of their eyes with a display that looks similar to a video game.
Technology now has evolved to the point where it's much more affordable and we can put it in there and it's very adaptable, and it changes everything. If you got in the water with that helmet, you would not be able to take the smile off your face for a week. It is amazing to see that in the water.
This display system allows divers to have everything they need right inside of their helmets.
Now, Larissa, what type of diving missions can this helmet technology be used for?
Amy, the system can be used for all sorts of missions like ship husbandry, underwater construction, and salvage operations. I'll have more details coming up on News 13 at 6.
We'll look forward to your report. Thanks.
At the request of Governor Rick Scott, the recreational red snapper season in federal waters is now extended. The 9-day period set to close Friday gets 2 more days and will now close at 12:01 a.m. Sunday. This is to make up for lost fishing opportunities in the Gulf of Mexico due to Tropical Storm Colin. The U.S. Department of Commerce granted the request this afternoon. Saltwater fishing in this Gulf is a $7.6 billion economic impact in Florida every year. June is one of the most important months for tourism and recreation in the state.
Floridians should be allowed to openly carry firearms in public. A gun rights groups argued that Wednesday before the Florida Supreme Court. The group Florida Carry is representing Dale Norman, a Fort Pierce man who was arrested 3 years ago for violating the state's concealed weapons law while walking with a visibly holstered weapon. At the time, Norman had recently received a concealed carry permit, something more than 1.5 million people currently possess, according to the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Florida Carry attorney Eric Friday argued before the court that the state's nearly 30-year-old concealed carry law is in violation of the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which he said requires open carry. Friday told justices the legislature is depriving citizens of their right to bear arms.
They have offered no evidence, and they have not met their burden that they are required to meet under strict scrutiny to show that there is some real harm that's being addressed by this ban.
The court case is one of a number of venues that Florida Carry and other gun rights groups have pursued recently to allow Floridians to openly carry handguns. During the 2016 legislative session, the House of Representatives did approve an open carry bill. However, the proposal was blocked in the Senate committee process.
Coming up on Live at 5, a man is arrested for trying to kidnap a girl in front of her mother.
Also, 2014 dash cam footage has been released after this officer has been charged.